break open your house one time, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm, and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. It come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on Saieed. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Dance! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. And we do want to thank you also for making us the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. So share our live stream, viewers. We are live on Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali. We are on YouTube, TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you will know when we go live. So as we start our program, viewers, just a little update for you. Earlier this morning, a major water leak at the new administration building of the Ministry of Health in Port of Spain forced a shutdown of operation, and staff were sent home for the day. The building is located at Gillingham Avenue and Queen's Park, Savannah East, Port of Spain. One employee at the ministry confirmed that it was not the first time it flooded and alleged that it had nothing to do with the leaks of the roof on the 7th floor of the building, but a main pipeline that ruptured in the female washroom on the 3rd floor. However, Minister of Health Terence Diasing has declined to comment on the videos. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health saying a plumbing issue is to be blamed for the flooding. The building was officially opened on August 7th, 2023, and the ribbon was cut by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. The project was executed via a build, own, lease, transfer contract between the Urban Development Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago and the viewers. That's the latest update. You know, after seeing that, I thought it was rain, you know. I thought it was some Balbo walk again, you know, bubble walk, you know, but nevertheless, not everything is bubble. Not everything is bubble. So Trinidad and Tobago, I just want to touch back on a previous story we did. That would have been Tuesday night concerning the Works and Transport Minister Rohan Sinanan concerning the demerit point system. Monday night, I do apologize for that. We touched on this story Monday night. So tonight now, viewers, I want to hear from you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. But before I go any further, it's Labor Day tomorrow in Trinidad and Tobago. So I know the Labor Union will be out in their numbers tomorrow celebrating Labor Day in Trinidad and Tobago. So to the workforce of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, happy Labor Day from Real Talk. So, touching back on our story, Minister of Works and Transport Rohan Sinanan wants the population to know that the demerit point system is under review and has been under review ever since it was introduced. Listen to this.
The demerit point came in to change the driving culture in Trinidad and Tobago. It has nothing to do with revenue or just penalizing people. It had to do with changing the driving culture. And it was a fair system because it was a system where you accumulate points, meaning on your first offense, they don't take away your driving license. You accumulate points. And then when you reach a threshold, then we say, look, you need to go back and do some retraining. That system is not something that we invented in Trinidad. It is used around the world in almost all the developed countries.
Now, viewers, he said, I want a lot to follow me tonight because I want to hear what all you have to say. He said this is a system that was used in developed countries. Now, keep that in mind. The minister also called on leaders to be leaders and for the public support as they continue to work on changing the errant behavior of road users. Listen to this second video now.
What I require is leaders to be leaders. We keep complaining about crime. We keep complaining. Crime is not only the guy who takes a gun and goes and kills somebody. We all have a part to play in crime. Every crime committed, almost every crime, a vehicle is used. And that is why, at the Ministry of Works and Transport, we are in charge of road safety, the road network, the motor vehicles act and so, and we will do our part. But we need everybody to do their part and to support this move. What we ask is for support. The system is always being reviewed. It's always being reviewed. It is being reviewed now to make sure that whatever we put in place, we achieve the final goal, which is to change the mindset of how we use the road network. It has nothing to do with revenue earning for the government. I would be so happy if we could get up one day, have 0 road fatalities, and no income from penalties. What it means is that our society have evolved and we are disciplined and we understand the challenges that could come from road fatalities.
Now Trinidad and Tobago, let's take all that time and listen to this. And now, Sinanan reiterated the importance of the system. He said over 37,000 persons were suspended from driving and were due to do remedial course. He said this is why his ministry is reviewing the system, because there are people who are driving with over 300 points attached to their names. Now listen to this.
Another figure that I have here from 2020 to 2021, 2020 to 2023, there were 70,000 tickets issued for seat belts. 70,000. And let's face it, when one person got charged or stopped for seat belt, that's not the first time they do it. That's probably the first time they are stopped. It means a significant amount of us are still driving without seat belts. The last count of people reaching the threshold of being suspended for driving, who should go back and do some sort of remedial course, have passed 37,000 people. And that is why we're reviewing the system, because there are people who are driving with over 300 points attached to the name. 300 points.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we have a call. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said.
Go right ahead.
Right. I just want to say something concerning that demerit point.
Go ahead.
They
Yeah.
said that is in review from since it was implemented.
Correct.
But they have been charging people and taking away the permits, suspending them,
Yes.
and continue to go. Now they have a system in the court that if you find yourself that you have received a ticket and it was not justified and you want to challenge it, you have to pay.
Yes.
And if you challenge it and you lose, the money increases by double the amount or so forth.
Correct.
The thing about it is this, is that if someone wants to give you a ticket that is not justified, and you have to go through the system, which is going to cost you more.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, victimization is for you to pay the ticket to
Well
save
said.
your permit.
Now keep in mind, caller,
Yeah.
keep in mind when you do go to court, whether you win or you lose, your demerit points is not being erased there. So keep that in mind.
That I was getting to that too, because at the end of the day, that stands for where it is.
Correct.
Because that have already done issued and
Yes.
done be made. That done, you can't erase that. They may erase that. So whether it was you won the case or did not win the case, and most of the time you will not win the case with them, because they will have an avenue really for you to pay the fine, because that is how they want to make the money.
Correct.
So we have this situation going on that they want to give you a ticket that is not really, you didn't deserve to get it, let me put it that way. And it's going to cost you, and you're going to be jeopardized by that. And you have an earning. You might be driving your vehicle to get your earning, and that is how they come across it.
Correct.
You see, at the end of the day, crime will never finish, because it has people who will not take that lightly and very easy. And these people has to be aware about what they're doing. It's not because it's your duty to give somebody a ticket. You're giving them a ticket, or you can give them a blight too likewise.
Correct.
That is the system that we have. We can always give somebody a blight and say, listen to something, talk to them, whatever the case it might be, but don't press on them like that. But from what I am seeing going on in the road surface there, a lot of them is being pressing the people.
Pointers.
And they're pressurizing the people in the country, and the people in this country need to take a step for what is happening. Have a pleasant night.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, Rohan Sinanan said it's not about revenue earning. He wants to teach people a lesson. Now, on screen is the demerit points plus penalty plus violation. So you tell me now, what part of this violation would cause a driver to go back and do remedial work? Look at the points behind it. 14 points. 14 points. And your license seized again. Now I'll tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. I'll tell you something. What is the demerit point system really doing for Trinidad and Tobago? What is this demerit point system really doing for Trinidad and Tobago? You know what it is doing? Presently, there are 37,000 people who is out or without a driver's permit. Look at number 10. Driving a vehicle with a child in the front seat who is under the age of 5 for the demerit point system. Now I'll tell you something. When a driver go back to do remedial work and he comes back out now, what's going to happen? He still have the child. He still have the kid. What about if rushing one day to go now, the child end up in the front seat, or the child happen to come in the front seat? What's going to happen? You see the whole demerit point system in Trinidad and Tobago? It is a flaw. 37,000 breadwinners are home. A lot of taxi drivers call me. A lot of maxi drivers call me. A lot of truck drivers call me. Saeed, we need you to deal with this because we are home. We have loan to pay. Sinana had no loan. Government paying for he. Government paying everything for Sinanan. And what they don't understand, they are penalizing the small man. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said.
Go right ahead.
Program, great topic. I don't like to call people idiots. But after you run that video with this Minister of Transport, I have to call he an illiterate idiot. Because when, hear what he's talking about, seatbelt, right? I want he to tell the citizen of this country how many people was ticketed for reckless, lawless driving on the highway. You will see zero, because the people that have been ticketed are for cracked windscreen, brake light, not having your vehicle inspected. If I had money, I take all of them, that whole government, especially Rowan Sinanan, before the International Court for Trial, you know. That vehicle inspection, I was talking to a lawyer recently, and Mr. Said, you know that, you're a knowledgeable fella, you know that. The infrastructure my vehicle have to work on and drive on, it's in a dilapidated state. Their justification is that your vehicle must be roadworthy. How the hell your vehicle is going to be roadworthy? If your vehicle is roadworthy, it cannot drive on the road. It's logical and sensible. Look at the road condition in this country. I would have taken them before court, and every citizen that was ticketed for not having the vehicle inspected, they would have had to pay them back their money. And that is a crime against the citizen of the country. Mr. Sai, you know that. Talk to your lawyer and you think you will hear. Anyway, you keep up the great work, man. This angry man. Eh?
Thank you, my friend. So he talking about crime. What does banditry have to do with a demerit point system and 37,000 people home? and cannot afford to drive to mind their family. Because truck drivers, taxi drivers, maxi drivers, PH drivers, these are the ones that have been affected the most. A taxi driver has been affected. He have loan to pay. House loan, car loan, school loan, children loan, maintenance of the vehicle, maintenance of the house, maintenance of a family. What does Clive Clark have to say about this? What does he have to say about this? How the hell can a demerit point system stop an individual and you get your license suspended and you have to go back now to remedial class to learn what? To learn what exactly? 3 or 4 points for a blow park light. How the hell I get in a demerit point for a blow park light? Huh? You see, I go tell you something. Tinaran says not about Raven revenue. So why did you attach demerit point to a ticket? What purpose it's serving? Because after 14 points, I home for 2 years, all I can get 1 cent from me again. All I cannot get 1 cent from me again. You know what you all did? You put me in a position now to actually commit a crime. A physical crime. Rob somebody, break into somebody's house, jump in a man car, a taxi man car, rob him. This is what you did. And Rohan Sinaran would not see it that way. If I get my license suspended, I have a vehicle loan to pay, I have a house loan to pay, I have children to maintain, I have family to maintain, and then I have a vehicle on top of that to maintain, I have school loan to pay. What I going and do? What is the easiest thing for me to do? You tell me. The easiest thing for me to do is to get a gun, because we get it in every corner in Trinidad, right? A illegal firearm, every corner you get it. Get a gun, rob somebody. That is a crime. I wonder if Clive Clark if I get robbed. I wonder if Sinana if I get robbed. I know some judges' house get broken into already, so they know the pinch of crime. They know it. But it's sad to see, or sad to hear, the minister say it's not about revenue. I don't pay a ticket, you know. When I don't pay this ticket now, I get my license suspended, I can't walk no more. So what next I go in and do? All I want to talk about decreasing crime, but you actually put 37,000 people to do crime, to maintain their family. All I do have that type of, how to say it, but common sense. All I do have that type of common sense to understand how it is in the ground. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, I will talk about it until it change. So we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back from this break, viewers, we're going to hear the PM concerning SEDAP after that.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Realtalk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
So Trinidad and Tobago, I want to ask all of this question. How did Rohan Sinanan end up the Minister of Works and Transport? How did he end up there? Because the last thing I heard about Sinanan before he became a MP, a minister in Parliament, he was an independent senator. An independent senator. So what transpired from independent senator to become an MP? Wow. Just like that. Boom. But nevertheless, he needs to go back and do remedial classes. Tell him Saieed says so on national television. Does your brakes bulb in your car has an expiry date? Does the driver know when the bulb will blow in order to have a new one to stand by? No, we don't. We don't. Sad. Now, we're moving on to the Prime Minister concerning SEDAP. While admitting that the government was continuing to look at the value for money, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has assured the public they will not abandon SEDAP as a policy. So before we go on to that, viewers, remember we at Real Talk, we are offering you 4% on our fixed deposit. The good thing about this fixed deposit is that you are getting your interest up front. So instead of waiting for years go by, you can collect your interest up front and you can go on a vacation. You can make a down payment on a car. You can repair your house. You can put away money for medical issues. You can put away money for schooling. That is what we do at Real Talk. Like I said, Trinidad and Tobago, I am here to change the way banking sector operates in Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, Real Talk, we have a licensed credit union, and I'm also a licensed money lender. So if you want to know how to grow your money, make an investment into Real Talk, get your upfront interest payment, and enjoy the benefit of your hard-earned cash. I could assure you that. Back to our story concerning SEDAP. However, the PM reiterated that the program cost has to be reviewed as affordability is now a matter of concern. Listen to the PM.
What was said about SEDAP and what the government is saying and what I'm saying here now, and I want the population to listen to me. When we could have afforded it, SEDAP grew from 35 million to 400 million. Fact, undisputed. We are now in a situation where affordability is in front of us as a matter of concern. In 2008 was the year this country earned more money than any other year. Then Wall Street collapsed in 2009, and our circumstances changed, our revenue changed. By the time we got to 2015, we were scrambling to pay public servants. We are on a relatively even keel now, but with challenges all around. And we're saying, one, we can't grow SEDAP like 35 to 400 million. We're having difficulty maintaining 400 billion, but that does not mean that we will abandon the policy of providing medication to people. We can then take a decision to provide what is affordable. And I said in the parliament, if 200 million is affordable or 300 million, we will still have that as a SEDAP program.
He said the government is committed to ensuring the people that the chronic disease get what the country can afford. Listen to him one more.
We are looking at government expenditure across the board. And that is why the Minister of Finance mentioned it. And that's why I said in the Parliament, the way it grew from 35 to 400 million, we are now in a situation where we have to make sure we're getting value for money. And I make no apologies for looking at it to make sure that the money that we're spending is spent on what we want it to buy. And the people who are getting it are the people who are supposed to get it. And if there are opportunities where we can do better with 400 million, and if we can't afford 400 million and we can only afford 300 million, then it may very well be like in the scholarship program, where you get more people getting better service from a better managed 300 million than a 400 million that is spent vai, and you can't account for what you spend. The government has to keep looking at it. But we have not taken any decision to cut SEDAP or to shut down SEDAP. We just mention it as part of the area of government responsibility, where we will review it as we go forward, but we're committed to ensuring that people with chronic diseases get what the country can afford.
Trinidad and Tobago, we are buying the right drugs at the right price. We are providing the people who qualify for SEDAP. These are the things we do, as we did with GATE, the government assistance for tuition expense program. Listen to the PM one more time.
No, I get a response from my colleague in the opposition. Don't touch SEDAP. Don't touch SEDAP. No, that is coming from somebody who will never have to make a decision about SEDAP, but could talk as much foolishness as SEDAP. We want to find out first, is there any leakage or corruption or loss? Are we buying the right drugs at the right price? We want to know that. That's why we look at it. Are we providing the people who qualify for SEDAP? So these are the things we do, as we did with GATE.
Not Trinidad and Tobago. GATE was cut down from 700 million to 400 million by the PNM government. Previously, opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar stated that she was advised that the government was planning to cut social program and SEDAP. Listen to this.
I'm advised, and I have a document, and I'm asking if this is true, that the government intends to increase VAT. VAT. I have a document in my hand that the government, I provide a document after the sitting, Minister, so be careful. Be careful. I have the document. The second way they propose to raise revenue to fund expenditure is to remove some exemptions from the Income Tax Act and to increase penalties and fines on citizens. They are planning to cut social programs. Yes. They are planning to cut social programs. Now, that I think is one of the famous IMF Article 4 report does talk about cutting back on social programs. And recently we saw the minister in the newspaper crying about SEDAP. Don't touch that SEDAP. Leave SEDAP for the people. Leave it there. Find ways to fund it.
So viewers, according to Dr. Keith Rowley, that was a work paper or a work in progress. So we're going to wait for the coming weeks to see if this is actually coming to effect in Trinidad and Tobago. That's just weekends. Moving along, Imbert. I'm gonna love this one, eh? We have to be quite careful with the message from Finance Minister Clong Imbert after he confirmed a 3 billion loss of revenue for 2024 due to energy price, particularly natural gas price. Imbert said the energy price situation had caused the $3 billion drop in revenue from $54 billion projected in the budget last year. Now, $51 billion now, and it's increased. The deficits stated in the budget for 5.2 billion to cover or to over 9 billion for 2024. So all of a sudden, $3 billion gone missing and they blame energy. Now listen to this.
However, based on actual revenue received and expenditure incurred, the government recorded a deficit of $1,170,000,000, some $3,513,000,000 lower than the projected outcome. This was as a result of lower than projected revenue of just over 800 million, as well as a reduction in expenditure, because we have to keep trying to control expenditure all the time, because we are very cognizant of the volatility of our revenue base because of the situation with oil and gas prices. And I may digress on that, Madam Speaker. One of the things that has affected us profoundly in the first 6 months of fiscal 2024 is the price of natural gas. And this was all based on all of the predictions and forecasts of all these reputable agencies. So in 2023, September, we used all of the forecasts available to us to determine what the budget price of oil and gas should be. Unfortunately, there has been a precipitous decline in the price of natural gas, both at the Henry Hub benchmark and also in the foreign benchmarks such as the Japan-Korea JKM, Japan-Korea marker, and then the British marker, which is NBP, and then there's a European marker as well, TTF.
So Trinidad and Tobago, $3 billion drop in revenue. It's sad, you know. It's really, really sad. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Right ahead, you're live, my friend.
Yes, Saeed. This is not the guy that closed down Petrotrin, our main revenue earner.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. The next thing is, Saeed, is that this whole, everything you see that is playing out here is to bring us to zero.
Correct.
Everything, including you, even though you have business. Bring everything to zero. By 2030, that is the time span they have to work with. So they had to try and work as quick as possible. The election, they had to try and win it again or steal it again and put these things in place so that they will achieve bringing us to zero and then starting over the whole program. I remember when before the COVID,
yes,
Gavi, that organization that they say was securing the vaccine for them that they paid for.
Correct.
Since I never hear nothing about that money that was spent there, you know? And they never got the thing from Gavi. They get it from somewhere else. So these fellas only talking about they have no money, But when it's convenient to suit them, they will find money.
Correct.
And they also get paid from WHO and these people and still getting paid.
Correct.
Thanks again, Saeed.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, Imbert added that if there was a drop in gas price from $5 US to $3 US, you're looking at a 40% in royalties. Listen to Imbert. We go talk half.
when one looks at the adjustments that we have to make, we are now projecting a lower figure for revenue because we have to be pragmatic. So we expect that because of the decrease in the price of natural gas, and this affects royalties because we get our money from different places. We get petroleum profits tax from the oil and gas companies, but we also get royalties on the actual production of oil and gas. And royalties is the one that is most profoundly affected by a drop in price because it's strictly proportional. So the royalty is simply 12.5% off the top of the gross revenue received from oil and gas by the oil and gas companies. And so if you have a drop in gas from $5 to $3, I'm talking about the weighted average net back price now, you can understand you're looking at a 40% drop, and therefore a 40% drop in royalties immediately. And we're talking about billions of dollars that have not been realized and will not be realized going forward.
Now Trinidad and Tobago. He said, the Ministry of Finance will continue trying to control the expenditures. Now, hold back that one. Hold back that one. Inbert further noted that the government believes this reduction in revenue is not permanent and expect that this situation will be reversed around 2026 to 2027. Now listen to Trinidad and Tobago. Which one of the ministers came out and said that we only have gas in Trinidad and Tobago for about 12 years? Which one of the ministers said that? Didn't Seo Chung say something like that? So if Seo Chung saying that we have gas for about 12 years in Trinidad and Tobago, how the hell now Inbert could come and tell Saeed now that by 2026, 2027, the whole situation will turn around? Come now, man. All that makes sense now, man. All that listen to this last video. Slot 4.
Now, notwithstanding these issues, we in this government believe that this reduction in revenue is not permanent. The Minister of Energy is much better informed than I am on what we expect going forward. But because of all the foreign policy initiatives and the foreign cooperation, both at the corporate level and at the country level, we expect that this situation will be reversed in or around 2026 to 2027 in terms of the volumes of natural gas that will become available to our processing plants here in Trinidad and Tobago. We expect the situation to be reversed. What it does mean, however, that for...
So after $3 billion gone missing, Ministry of Finance, Bacchanal with the Auditor General, oil and gas now lost $3 billion in revenue. How come $3 billion? George Young came out and said, in the night, we have gas in Trinidad and Tobago for 12 years. 12 years! And the price ain't getting better. This minister come to tell me now, by 2026, 2027, it go turn around? If the Minister of Energy, Stuart Young, is saying 12 years, and after that we doom, how Inbert could come and tell me now, 26, 27, within the next 2 or 3 years from now, it go turn around? How the hell it turning around? Trinidad and Tobago, you be the judge. Tell me now who I am bashing. I am bringing the reality to you. But you know what? To begin with, you can't understand, you can't comprehend what I'm telling you. I said start with. You so believe in Inbert. You so believe in the Prime Minister's words. You see, I am holding them accountable to their office, you know. It is their words, you know. It is their words against mine. It is their words against yours. And the Prime Minister said, we are shutting down Petrotrin. What did SBNA said? Do not call me 2 o'clock in the morning to ask me how much are you going home. All are you going home. All forget. All your brain shallow. It's sad. So viewers, we're going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, I just want to touch on the PAHO result. Trinidad and Tobago is waiting for results, even the Minister of Health, as we read it.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday. Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid upfront. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union, Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
So Trinidad and Tobago, Earla Haywood Christopher. What you all think about her? Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley have stated that all relevant information was considered before Cabinet approved a one-year extension to the contract of Commissioner of Police Earla Haywood Christopher. When Haywood Christopher reaches the mandatory retirement age of 60 last May, the contract was extended by Cabinet for 1 year. The extension approved on May 15th will see Haywood Christopher tenure as COP end next May. That's in 25. In response to a question from Couva South MP, Rowley said that the Cabinet has taken into account all relevant matters and information pertaining to the appointment and extension of the contracts of the COP. When the MP for Couva South asked if the performance appraisal conducted by the Police Service Commission, the PSC, formed part of the matters which Rowley mentioned, Speaker Bridget Anderson George advised that Rowley had answered his question. All right, listen to this.
Madam Speaker, the Cabinet has taken into account all relevant matters and information pertinent to the appointment and reappointment and extension of the Commissioner of Police.
Member for Vancouver South.
Madam Speaker, I'm just seeking clarification. Did the Cabinet take into consideration in the reappointment the performance appraisal conducted by the Police Service Commission? It is simple as that.
That's the exact question that was asked and has been answered.
Madam Speaker, I just want to put on record I'm not satisfied with the answer.
Let me tell you something. When you hear the boss man talk in the house, Dr. Rowley, that's it, you know. That's it. You know why? You want to know why? Bridget Anna George will block any question that Dr. Rowley have to answer. And it's not the first time we have seen this. Not the first time we have seen this. So listen to this now, Trinidad and Tobago. The Police Service Commission is satisfied with the performance of Erla Haywood Christopher. That is the Police Service Commission. Is Trinidad and Tobago, is the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago satisfied with the performance of Erla Haywood Christopher? Is the country satisfied with her performance? I want to ask the Police Service Commission that. Dr. Rowley added that the consideration takes everything into account with respect to the COP discharging her responsibilities as Commissioner of Police. However, Anna George ruled Charles subsequently questioned about transparency criteria for the selection of the COP. Now listen.
Member for Naparima.
Did the Prime Minister factor into the criteria the question of the murder rates under the watch of the present Commissioner of Police?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, the consideration takes everything into account with respect to the Commissioner of Police discharging her responsibility as Commissioner of Police.
Member for Naparima.
Prime Minister, do you not think it inadequate in the context, and do you not at this stage suggest that there be a need for very transparent criteria in the selection of an important position as the Commissioner of Police?
Member, I will not allow that question under the existing standing orders. It is out of order.
What did I just tell you all? What did I just tell you all? And I told you every time a question is direct from the opposition to the MP side, Bridget always blocks. They should name her the concrete wall of the PNM. I'm telling you. I am telling you. The blocker for PNM. I don't care if she vexed, you know. I don't care if she vexed, because it is done in videos that you're always blocking. I don't care if you're vexed. I have nothing against you, you know. But the writing is the writing. And you cannot tell me blocking questions for the opposite side to answer is the correct thing you're doing. Just imagine. Imagine. The Commissioner of Police came out and said that none of her plan works. None of her plan works. But the Police Service Commission put she back right. They put her back right. But then I would say somebody bigger than the Police Service Commission who ordered her back right. Everybody could see that. You go tell me, you ain't do nothing to help security in Trinidad and Tobago and you get back next year? Based on performance, zero performance? Right? Look good, yes? So recently the Prime Minister went on a few trips to Ghana. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has identified the importation of planting materials to grow yam and cassava locally from Ghana to boost food production as some of the benefits. Yeah, the Trinidad and Tobago. All I hear is, the Prime Minister went to Ghana. He wanted to import cassava and yam from Ghana to boost our local food production in Trinidad and Tobago. But you know what is the best part about this? The agriculture sector in Trinidad and Tobago has not boomed under the Ministry of Agriculture. But we want to import yam and cassava from Ghana to plant in Trinidad. The agriculture farmers we have in Trinidad here, the agriculture ministry cannot support them properly, but we want to import yam and cassava from Ghana. So the Prime Minister went on paid trips to Ghana, paid for by the states, to bring yam and cassava in Trinidad and Tobago. So what? To boost the food basket. Let me tell you something. That is the biggest embarrassment Trinidad and Tobago face. The agriculture sector not booming here. Vegetables not booming here. No big incentives. No start back. No kickback, as we would say. Farmers ain't even getting a start back. But we spending taxpayers' money to go Ghana to import yam and cassava. What do you think about that? So millions of dollars now will go into importing yam and cassava while the vegetable farmers down here suffering. Now listen to this video.
What do you know about yams? That does not improve your position over there. You will eventually be thrown out way down there. The quality and species of yams that we are interested in can only be had from Cape Coast and Ghana. And we are in fact at this moment, taking steps to import significant planting material. And while we're at it, we now have growing at testing spots around the country, cassava varieties that have come in from Ghana, because we are looking for particular species, and we trust that you will use it when it is available in the marketplace. Grow what you eat, and eat what you grow. That's the secret.
All the Prime Minister importing yam and cassava for all you. Where to go? That is the way to go. Government MPs stormed their desk as a Prime Minister added, what I could tell you is that the 12 million trip that you and your friend made to India didn't produce any okra, far less yam. I'll listen to this.
If notice is given, I can do that. But what I can tell you is that the $12 million trip that you and your friends made to India didn't produce an okra far less yam. $12.5 million across the state. Not a single initiative is visible. Right? So if you want to discuss expenditure and outcome, you're talking to the right man. Just give me the notice.
Hey, Trinidad and Tobago, we have a... Let me tell you something. You know why I love this Prime Minister? He will give you a good challenge. He bold-faced. He brave. He like a lion, he will roar at you. That is why I love our Prime Minister. I love him for that. Does the opposition have that sort of come forward method? Does the opposition have that go forward attitude? Does the opposition have the boldness that the Prime Minister have? That is why I love our Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. He bold. But nevertheless, we welcome the yam and cassava from Ghana. We welcome that. So viewers, it's been a nice night here at Real Talk. Remember, tomorrow's Labor Day celebration in Trinidad and Tobago. We just have a few minutes before we wrap up tonight. But our rerun of this program is tomorrow from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So viewers, I just want to give you a brief photo of Real Talk Credit Union that will be launched in the Southland very soon. Very, very soon. So those of you in South, it's a beautiful building on Cipero Street. Beautiful building on Cipero Street in San Fernando. This is where Real Talk Credit Union will be. South, we have a beautiful offer coming for you, for people of the Southland. And I know a lot of people in Southland, South, Tableland, Rio Claro, Guaya, Moruga, Cedras. I know a ton load of them is locked on to Real Talk. A ton load of them. So viewers, this will be our building, our Real Talk Credit Union Bank in the Southland, very soon in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. But nevertheless, we are there. We'll be there in the South to change the way people think of bank. You know the old method of putting your money in a pillowcase? No, we don't want that. The old method of saying, you know what? If I put the money in the bank, I really gain nothing, you know. Let me tell you something, we're shifting from that. We're shifting. You see, we're already giving you upfront interest on fixed deposits. No other financial institution is doing that to you. No other financial institution is doing that. 4%. But we have an offer for the people in South. Have an offer for the people in South. When Real Talk Credit Union open in South. Remember, Real Talk Finance and Investment will also be in South. Those of you who are looking for cash borrow, it's not a problem. I'm a licensed money lender. You can contact me at 339-1670. I'd love to do business with you. I'm also a spiritual consultant. You're having spiritual problem, you can also contact me at the same number. At the same number. So viewers, in South, we're going to change things. We're going to change the way you think. We are going into the 21st century. We're already in 2024. And it's time we upgrade our thinking. It's time we put our money to use. It's time we get the best interest on our hard-earned cash. You're not getting it in financial institution. No, you're not getting it. But we have some nice offers coming for South. We're out of time for tonight, but nevertheless. Until we meet again, good night.